In this video, I'm going to walk you through what the course homepage looks like, and hopefully you'll get sort of orientated to feel comfortable using it regularly. So the first step is, again, to log into your UR courses on the URegina website and find your class. So in this case, we're looking at English 110. You might have a different section number, but I'm teaching 2 sections of English 110 this semester. So let's take a look at what this course homepage looks like. So at the very start, you'll see a list of the course readings / viewings, and I've separated them by units, and there's 4 units in total. And I've included instructions here that you can pick and choose which texts you want to read in the course, as long as you pick at least one from each unit. The titles that are in red, bold, those are the ones that are not available online, so they have to be purchased either through the U of R bookstore or through Amazon are probably your easiest ways to access those texts. You could also probably find these in the library or a library. The other ones, like Wilfred Owen's poetry or these other poems, they're all available online, and I've included links, so you can just click on the link and it should take you to that page. Other ones like the film Tough Guys 2, it's available through U of R, the library, and I'll put a link on the course homepage so you can easily access that one as well. So you can just, find links to the readings or purchase those texts if you rather choose the novel that you have to buy. So that's sort of up to you. And then other features here. So news and announcements forum. I don't usually use that one, but if I had an announcement to make, I might use that and just let you guys know information that way. There's a peer support forum for technical problems. So if you have problems accessing a certain file that's on the course homepage, or you can't add to the discussion forum or something like that, you can always ask a question in the technical problems, and IT can help you with that. Ask your instructor forum. So this is where you can ask me a question, but just so you know, this forum is open to everybody, so we can all see the answers to the question. So if you do have a general question that you think other students will also have, feel free to ask that in the Ask the Instructor forum, and I'll give you an answer, and everybody in the class will be able to see that answer. If you have, I don't have a course email here. Okay, so I gotta add that. Okay, you should see the course email here, which I just added, and a chat room, which I will enter during office hours, and you can interact with me live in the chat room. So I'll just click into these and just show you how it works. So the course email here is just like a normal email. If you want to write a message to me, you can select your teacher, Justine Jenny, so that's me. If you want to, talk to one of your fellow students, you should also be able to access them. But you basically just pick your recipient, so the person you're sending it to, add a subject, and here you can write the content of your email. So, hello, instructor. I have a question. Okay, so whatever. You can just, ask a question, or if you have any comments, but this is a private message directly to me, and you can even add files here. So for example, if you wanted me to read a part of your essay draft, you could send me the file and I could give you some comments that way, or you could just paste it into the email, whichever way is easier for you. So that's just the regular course email, and I'll regularly send out emails to the class, so you should know your email and check that regularly. Okay, so just scroll down here. The other one is the chat room. So this is where I'm going to be holding live office hours, and you can join as well. It's optional. So on Tuesdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., I'll enter the chat here. And if you also have a question, you can enter the chat and ask your question and get a live feedback. The other way would just be to book an appointment with me. If you want to do a Zoom meeting or if you want to have a phone conversation, I'm open to that as well. If chatting and the time doesn't really suit your schedule, we can always schedule a different time. But yeah, the chat room, once you enter it, you can basically just write questions or comments, and everybody in the chat room can see the responses. So this isn't where you would again answer or ask anything very personal. It's more for getting immediate information that you don't mind sharing with others. But we can use that as another way to interact with each other. What else? So back to the course homepage. Yeah, so that's the basic stuff there. And then you can start here for the very first day of classes. And every unit, I'll add sort of a to-do list. So this is sort of your instructions for that unit or for that week. Or for that day, and this gives you a kind of list of things that you should be accomplishing within this unit of study. So things like read the syllabus, orientate yourself to the course homepage, post to the Introductory Forum, get access to your readings, watch the week 1 lectures, read the selection of poems, watch the documentary, read through the department style sheet, etc. So all these things you can sort of work your way through within this first week of class. So you can click on the syllabus, download the syllabus. I have all my syllabi on my computer desktop, so I can easily reference to them. And here's the introductory forum. So I want you to get used to using discussion forums if you're using one of these for the first time. And the introductory forum, it's not graded or anything. This is just a way for you to introduce yourself to your classmates and tell us a little bit about yourself. And if you want to share, your name, where you're from, your academic major, your career goals, if you have a favorite war movie or any other information that you'd like to share with the rest of the class, please do that. So I just clicked into the forum, and you can click on add a new discussion topic and just basically add that information about yourself and share that with the rest of the class. In further units, we'll do forums, and they'll be more structured, so you'll be asked to write a response to a question, and those will be graded. But for the most part, I just want you to sort of get used to adding to an introductory forum. If you ever any trouble doing that, if it won't let you add, I'm not sure why that would be, but you could check with the IT peer support forum if you have any technical problems that way. Yeah, so you can sort of just, again, work your way through the information. Whenever you see a little book like this, it means there's a series of lectures in there. And you can click on the book and there'll be chapters that you can look through. So yeah, again, it'll give you information. You can click on next and it'll take you to the next chapter. And here there's some study questions that are included in this chapter. So these you don't have to answer. They're more for you to just sort of think about and ponder in your own time. Later on, you could use these questions and answer one of them in a discussion forum post, which will be graded. So your discussion forum number 1, you could always answer one of the study questions that are in any of the units for your response. But yeah, you can just sort of, again, click through, read the questions. There's videos here that are embedded, so you could watch the videos, click play, watch them there, and just contemplate the questions. If you want to take notes in your own time, that's a good idea as well. So, you know, have a notebook open at the same time as you're watching the videos and maybe jot down some notes. Any key terms that come up, that's a kind of good strategy to use in these online classes. Okay, so that's how to go through the lectures. And then there's the links to the documentary. So one of our first texts is just to watch the Tough Guys documentary. And it may ask you to log in through your U of R library information. So if you have a login, I think it's the same as your U of R courses login, but sometimes you have to use your barcode on your library card. But it should be relatively easy to log in and watch the film. If you have any trouble with that, just let me know, and I'll try to maybe troubleshoot that for you. You should have access to that film. And then what else here? There's a little self-quiz. So we're going to introduce some terms related to gender, and you can go through the preview quiz. So it's asking you to match each of the following descriptions with a specific term. So if you go through the lectures for this chapter or for this unit, you should be able to sort of link the definition with the key term. So you won't be graded on this, but again, it's just for your own self-check of your knowledge and understanding of some of the key terms that will introduce at the start. And then our very first unit will be on the literature of World War I. So for basically, once you go through the introductory lectures, you can get started on some of the readings for Unit 1. There's a selection of poetry here. So the poems by Jessie Pope, Wilfred Owen, and Horace are included here as links. There's also lectures on Timothy Finley's The Wars, the novel. So that's one of the ones that you'd have to order through Amazon or through the U of R bookstore. But if you choose to read that one, there are, again, lectures that you can go through here. And click on the chapters for this unit. And what else? So yeah, if you can just, scroll down through the content. Your first discussion forum that's graded will be listed here. So the first one is due, just got to change the date here. If you notice any discrepancies, just ask me for clarification and I'll fix any errors that you might see. Okay. Okay, so that's fixed. So this is the discussion forum. If you click in this one, it's asking you to respond. Click your response, add your response, and also reply to one of your classmates' postings. And here's all of the study questions that have been included in the lectures. And you can pick and choose just, one of these questions to answer in your response. For example, find an example of war propaganda by doing some online research, add some commentary to explain what the image entails, who the intended audience is, what strategies the image contains to persuade its audience, etc. So when you're ready to answer one of these questions, you can add a new discussion topic. And you could say, question 16 or example of war propaganda or whatever it is you want to title it. And write your response directly into the message and then post to forum. You want to make sure that your response is well written. So you're graded on the content of your response, the grammar, correctness of your response, your ability to incorporate evidence to prove your response, so evidence from the texts, that kind of thing. Inclusion of quotations is always good. And then you're also going to be evaluated on your reply. So I also, in addition to writing a response, you'll also be asked to reply to a student's response. So once all the responses are, you can see everybody's different responses to their questions, then I want you to reply to one. And there'll be a little option to click reply on one of your peers' posts. So that'll also be part of your evaluation for the forum. So there's 3 forums in total that you're going to have to add to. And they're each worth 5 marks. So yeah, the first one is going to be due on January 29th. And then there's some grammar lessons that you can click on. There's a research tutorial that's really helpful. So if you're not sure how to find articles or research to add into your paper, I definitely recommend going through the research tutorial, and it'll walk you through how to use the U of R library to find online journal articles and information on that you can incorporate into your paper. And then Essay 1 instructions. So this is due Wednesday, February 3rd. And it gives you some options. So it says pick one of the following options to answer in your essay. And I've given you a choice of sort of 4 broader topics. Some of these can be narrowed down more. So it's asking you one theme. But again, you can pick one of these questions or topics and write your essay. So it's 1,000 words. Roughly 4 to 5 pages, double-spaced. It needs to include one secondary research source. So that could be, an online dictionary definition. It could be an article that you found through the U of R library. It could be a reputable website. It could be an encyclopedia. Any of those things are all research secondary sources. Yeah, so it's worth 15%. So that's your first assignment. And then when you're ready to submit that, you're going to click into Turnitin. So this is called Turnitin, and it looks like a little hand handing in a paper. So in this, when I look in here, I should see everybody's names, and you'll find your own name. And then eventually, you should probably just see your own name, not everybody's names, but I see everybody's names. So if you can find yourself, and then you can click on the little cloud with the arrow going up. So that means submit paper or upload your paper. You're going to have to give your paper a title. Just it could be your name. That's fine. And then you can drag and drop your file from your desktop directly into the upload option here, and then add submission. And then after that, you get it'll give you a little similarity rating, and usually it's a percentage, so it'll generate almost immediately, and it might say something like 15%, and so that just means it's it's reading how similar your paper that you just uploaded is to other online sources. So it's 15% similar to other papers that have been uploaded online. And you'll notice that, the percentage, the originality report or similarity report goes up when you include more quotations in your essays. So if it's over 50%, it starts to get sort of, it flags my attention, just because that means 50% of your paper is similar to other online sources. So that might make it seem as if you were, over relying on online sources, cutting and pasting information into your essay, or plagiarizing possibly. So you just want to be aware of the similarity report. It's not something to be too concerned over, but again, it's not your mark. It's not the final grade. It's just an automatic rating that the Turnitin does when you upload your paper. So nothing to really be concerned about there. Yeah, so that's basically it on how to submit your assignments. If you have any problems doing that, you can always send me an email. And again, if you want to attach your essay that way, that would be another way to submit your paper if Turnitin, say, was not working that day. But other than that, yeah, you'll eventually see, all the units will be visible at the start of term. We won't have all of these visible. There is grammar and essay writing resources at the very bottom of your course homepage, and you can go through some of this material in your own time. There's grammar reviews for parts of speech, sentence structure, punctuation, and little quizzes that you can also do just as self-check. Again, these aren't graded, but it's sort of up to you to improve your writing using some of these grammar guidelines and helpful lessons. There's other information here about MLA style, but you can go through these in your own time as well. There's some lectures on the basics of essay writing. So if you're new to essay writing and you want to review some ideas, you can go through the content of these lectures, and it'll give you a nice overview of what is expected of you. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty basic. Yours might look a little bit different just because you're a student and I'm the instructor, but yeah, it's pretty easy to navigate, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me.